Designed by the likes of Victoria Beckham, the Range Rover Evoque has always been a very special compact SUV, built for style and looking ultimately really good. Now this one is in this bright orange paintwork, but it's got a couple of extra special party pieces. Apart from this, it bears that large canvas roof. That means that it is now a Range Rover Evoque Convertible. So let's get behind the wheel, let's take it for a drive. I'm going at slow speeds, but in my opinion it's really where you want to be. Not because it hasn't got power, not because it isn't brisk, and not because it isn't built to tackle the rough stuff, but because it's ultimately built for looking good. It's ultimately built for enjoying the drive. Of course, on the inside I've got lovely luxury surfaces, leather wrap materials throughout, this brilliant leather wrap dashboard, these high sills which are all wrapped in leather, and the likes of Meridian audio for sound. I've also got the latest generation JLR multimedia system. It's a large 10-inch display. It's all touchscreen based controlled, and it's very easy and intuitive to use. It's media from all kinds of sources, a bunch of tiles which can be arranged according to the way you want them, and overall what is a decent, impressive interface. Of course, it's also all controllable, even the likes of your mobile telephony, through the steering wheel mounted controls. Now with the tech pack fitted here today, up front of me I also have a very impressive heads-up display which even tells you which way the road is curving and that of an oncoming traffic circle. All makes for luxury and comfort that you expect from a Range Rover, but weirdly you can do all this with the seagulls flying overhead and in a top-down kind of fashion. It is something truly unique and special. Now in terms of overall power delivery, up front the 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo-petrol motor delivers an impressive 177 kilowatts of power and 340 newton meters of torque. Land Rover say 0 to 100 in 7 seconds, but bear in mind this certainly isn't a light vehicle. You see, chopping the roof off a car interferes with structural rigidity. As a result, they've strengthened the beams in the doors. They've added all little strengthening pillars and posts throughout the vehicle, and the result of this is added weight, and you can feel it. At around 2 tons, this car is certainly heavy, but that being said, the power is still brisk. The only thing is, you will notice a bit of an impact on fuel economy figures. In my week of driving, I've been averaging around the 9.5 to 10 mark. You probably could push that up even a bit higher if you were tackling some really rough and tough situations. But that being said, a couple of guys have asked me, is this a car you can really take off-road? And my answer to that is simply, if it has a Land Rover badge, the chance is yes, it certainly is. In the center here, near the rising gear selector, I've got controls for the likes of snow and ice, mud ruts and sand. You see, this car rides with a clever dual clutch that's made by a company known as DKW, and thanks to the really sophisticated drivetrain, in fact very similar to the one that's shared with the Ford Focus RS, which I recently drove, it's able to send its power exactly where it's needed, and it's able to ultimately deal with some rough stuff whilst really optimizing the way the power delivery is sent to all wheels. This therefore is a true all-roader. It is a true Land Rover, but at the same time it is a true top-down cruiser for looking good, either here on the beachfront in Cape Town, the streets of Monaco, or anywhere else where fashion accessory is the order of business. Now there is one engine and one engine only available for the Evoque Convertible. It's Land Rover's 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol motor. It develops 177 kilowatts of power and 340 newton meters of torque. Now there are, of course, a couple of drawbacks. It's got a smaller boot than the likes of a normal Evoque because it's got a large compartment behind to fold the cloth top back. It obviously adds that bit of weight, which affects things like fuel economy, and of course, although there is space in the rear, practicality is gone when compared to the normal 4-door, 4-seater hard-roofed Evoque. But that being said, it adds a lot of extra fashion appeal and accessories which make it something very unique, something very special, and ultimately really do add that extra little something to the ride. So to sum up the Range Rover Evoque Convertible, it's very difficult to compare it to pretty much anything else out there. Yes, you can get something like a Jeep Wrangler with a bikini top. Sure, it's an off-roader and it's got a roof which can be taken away, but it's very different to this. This is ultimate luxury. It's leather-wrapped everything. It's the ultimate fashion accessory, but you're enjoying the wind in your hair and ultimately looking good either here on the Cape Town Sea Point Promenade, the likes of Monaco, or any other destination where style is everything. From me, Jason of Technobok, until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Cheers for now.
Technobok.